Brazil is the largest country in Latin America. It covers almost half of South America with an area of around 5 million square miles. There are almost 191 million Brazilians, from which 28 million have some kind of disability. According to the Human Development Index, Brazil is the 73rd country in the global ranking, with a gross domestic product per capita of $7.9 thousand. In order to build a fairer country, approximately 350,000 non-profit organizations operate in areas such as education, health, culture, and environment. Avape, Association for Valuing Persons with Disabilities, was created in the state of São Paulo in 1982. The organization has been considered a pioneer in developing highly specialized programs, and it is renowned by its management model, being the first organization of its segment, Social Organization for People with Disabilities, to receive the ISO certification in 1996 by DNV Det Norske Veritas. Nowadays, Avape operates under the Total Quality Policy, with full systematization of its procedures. Mission. The mission of Avape is promoting the competencies of persons with disability, aiming at their autonomy, safety, and dignity for the full exercise of the citizenship. Since its foundation, it has assisted over 1.8 million people. Currently, there are 14 non-units which integrate the Avape founder, and another 13 units in the 5 regions of Brazil. Vision. Being a model and exercise leadership in rehabilitation, professional training, and inclusion of persons with disabilities, and strategic management of entities. Avape has been developing a groundbreaking work, strengthening people's potentialities and efficiencies. It empowers and promotes the independence of persons with disability and/or in social vulnerability, so they can acquire their space in society, at work, and become active citizens and protagonists of a promising future. Avape's front practices are Clinical Rehabilitation Program. The program offers social assistance and health services, aiming at the prevention, clinical rehabilitation, and rehabilitation by means of diagnosis, treatment, and orientation through interdisciplinary attendance.
Eu fiquei usando a cadeira de rodas durante 7 anos. E a primeira vez que eu consegui ficar em pé e andar com o andador, para mim foi algo que eu nunca tinha imaginado que fosse acontecer.
Vocational Rehabilitation Program. The Vocational Rehabilitation Program promotes the skills and potentialities for the labor market. Through workshops and trainings which simulate the real work environment, aligned to cultural and artistic activities, the person develops potential and competencies for the professional life, such as cooperation, discipline, respect, responsibility, and commitment.
Me mudou a autoestima, que era muito baixa. Estou conseguindo me surpreender a cada dia, melhorando as minhas performances que eu nem eu mesmo acreditava.
Vocational Training Program. Promoting the training for persons with disabilities and in social vulnerability for the inclusion in the labor market is the goal of the Avape Vocational Training Program. A vast range of courses are offered so that the participants have wider conditions of employability. Most of the courses are certified by the Ministry of Labor.
Eu espero estar atualizado e apto para entrar no mercado de trabalho na função de operador de caixa.
In order to attend and train an increasing number of people, important partnerships and alliances have been established. For instance, the Poeta Program, a partnership for employment opportunities through technology in the Americas, which provides adapted digital technology centers supported by the Trust for Americas, a member institution of the Organization of American States, OEA, and sponsored by Microsoft International. The launching of the first center in Brazil was also the 100th in Latin America. Social programs and projects in favor of inclusion have been supported by renowned multinational organizations, among which are Alcatel-Lucent Foundation and Caterpillar, implemented through the international partnership with Resource Foundation. Other partners such as Petrobras, Renner Institute, and Votorantim Group also support programs developed by Avape. In addition, the institution has maintained close ties and partnerships for the development of social initiatives with municipal, state, and federal government, as the Secretariat of Persons with Disabilities from the state of São Paulo and the Ministry of Social Development. Professional Inclusion Program. The rehabilitation and training programs enable the professional inclusion. Since its creation, Avape has included 20,000 people in the labor market.
Trabalho para mim é mostrar que eu tenho competência, né, que eu posso ir mais longe. Eu espero nunca mais depender do auxílio do governo. Só quando eu ficar velhinho, né, aposentar, que aí não tem jeito mesmo.
Personal and Social Development Program, Living Together Centers. Avape offers personal and social development programs through 2 Living Together centers for serving youth and adults with intellectual and/or multiple disabilities. Through workshops such as handicrafts, stationery, gardening, carpentry, animal husbandry, and agriculture, they can develop intellectual and motor abilities, as well as basic habits for their personal and practical life. The main purpose is to improve the quality of life and socialization.
Aqui na Avape eu aprendi concentração, melhorei minha vida bem, até aí puro, aí fresco, piscina, ambiente legal, tem gente para ser conversado, tem monte de amigos.
The organization presents an assisted home program, residential program, providing a healthy social environment as well as occupational and leisure activities for the persons with disability. Avape also develops community services, restoring the citizenship of people with and without disability, as well as those in situation of social vulnerability through services such as Community Action Program. Using the principles of based community rehabilitation, it offers information and orientation for communities in situation of social vulnerability to identify problems and find solutions in joint actions. Community support for inclusion on the public schools through multidisciplinary attendance for students, teachers and parents.
O Avape eu aprendi muitas mais coisas, aprendi a escrever palavras direitos e a ler direito. Trabalhando em grupo você aprende mais coisas do que trabalhando sozinho.
Avape uses arts and sports as a support for the activities of the clinical, rehabilitation, training and professional areas, encouraging the development of individual potentialities. More than 1,200 people with and without disability are currently benefited from initiatives such as Avape Dance and Avape Music, as well as from investments in high-potential athletes for national and international competitions.
Eu acho que o mais importante é esse poder de superação.
Strategic social businesses. Searching for alternative sources of fundraising and sustainability aligned to the institutional mission, the organization develops strategic social ventures. Avape Nutri, which provides tailor-made solutions for restaurants, bars, schools and kiosks, keeps a food production center that generates employment and professional development for people with and without disability. Supported by a program with the Inter-American Development Bank and the Multilateral Investment Fund, BID FUMIN, 2 sustainable businesses were implemented in 2007, establishing audacious goals for the training and inclusion of professionals, as well as the generation of employment and income for persons with disability. They are AvapeNet, a social business unit in the segment of contact centers, which offers diversified services and solutions in telemarketing technology, aiming at employing 30% of persons with disability, structured to work 24 hours a day. There are 500 agents developing different types of services to companies, public agencies, and the community. SAMU, the Emergency Medical Services, is a real example of an exclusive agreement with the São Paulo and Guarulhos cities' governments, providing the inclusion of 150 persons with disability. Avape Social Network. Social Franchising Management Model. Currently, there are 13 licensee units located in 9 states in the 5 regions of Brazil, which use Avape's brand and methodology on rehabilitation, vocational training, and inclusion programs. These organizations are strictly selected and receive technical training, support, and supervision from an interdisciplinary team comprised by experts and consultants for the deployment and operation of the programs. Additionally, they are empowered for the management and institutional strengthening, developing specific business plans focused on fundraising.
Nós queremos incluir uma pessoa com capacidade, com direitos, e nós vamos conseguir.
Specialized Services and Consulting. Avape renders consulting for public and private organizations in several areas. One of the focal points is the accessibility and necessary adaptations so to establish the universal functional design for persons with disability and reduced mobility. Avape also offers companies consulting for the inclusion of persons with disability in the labor market, comprising all the steps and monitoring of these new professionals. In almost 30 years, Avape has been working under the concepts of ethics and transparency, establishing partnerships in favor of fundraising and institutional continuity. The National Federation of Avapes was founded in 2007. It was created based on the extensive experience of Avape, an organization at the forefront of attending to people with all kinds of disabilities, whose social technology, developed over a period of 29 years, is being multiplied to organizations throughout Brazil through Fenavape. Its mission is to congregate, articulate, represent, and strengthen the federated organizations to amplify the assistance and inclusion of persons with disability. Strategic nuclei. They represent the fundamental challenge of Fenavape, affecting the organization's statutory objectives at the macro and institutional levels. Structured along 6 axes from which the different action lines and respective projects and programs are grouped together. Representation. Network of federated entities. National Federation of Avape's Institutional Partnerships. Private sector partnerships of the National Federation of Avapes. Public sector partnerships of the National Federation of Avapes. International partnerships of the National Federation of Avapes. Future vision. Inclusion. Avape, developing, training, and including persons with disabilities. Fenavape, qualifying and strengthening social organizations. Articulating intersectoral partnerships. Contributing to the promotion of public policies. Acknowledgements. Through the development of innovative initiatives, Avape has been receiving social recognition. In 2010, we were given the Rosana Cunha Award, as well as the honorable mention of the Betinho Citizenship Award. Other recognitions included the State of São Paulo Award on Inclusive Initiatives for Persons with Disability and the Second Vocational Rehabilitation Award. Exchange. Committed with the dissemination of knowledge, Avape and Fenavape organize every 2 years an international congress, which is already in the 4th edition. Major partnerships were held on the previous events, providing new perspectives and improvement of inclusion for persons with disabilities and in social vulnerability. Every day, Avape and its employees work in favor of social inclusion, and you can cooperate in some way. Avape, the best of each person. Visit our website www.avape.org.br.